Hello YouTubers, this is Abhilash. Welcome to the channel again. So now today I'd like to do a quick video about the bike. It's the Avenger 220 Cruise again, but this time it's not my bike. I'll be doing this video on one of my subscribers' bike. He's done a video separately with a different variety of alterations. So it looks really quite different from the normal alterations, so I thought it would be really interesting for you guys to take a look at the bike. Now I've got the bike here, so now let's quickly take a look at this bike and the alterations that is done, and let's see how it looks and what are the uses of having those alterations done in this bike. Now to tell you guys about the person who owns this bike, his name is Sumod. So let me just quickly show you guys the bike and the owner of the bike. So there we go, we've got Sumod here. So he's a good friend of mine as well. So initially when he was planning to buy the Avenger Cruise, he did have some of the questions, so he did call me at that point and ask me about how the bike performs and how the bike is. So I had to give him some tips at that time. Then after that he's got his bike and he's done alteration according to his will and his needs. So this is Sumod here. So now let's quickly take a look at the bike and the alteration that he has done. Now he is from, to give you a background about Sumod. Sumod is living here in Kerala, so he's nearby, he's not very far from where I live. So now let's take the first look at the bike there. There you go. So that is the Avenger Cruise altered by Sumod.
How did you do that? How did you do that?
Now this design I think most of you guys wouldn't have seen on an Avenger 220 Cruise, because it's completely custom made by Sumod, his own ideas. Let's take a closer look at each of these alterations that he has done. So he's got a small antenna in his front wheels, and that's just for the aesthetic purposes. So he thinks that it looks really cool in front of the bike while riding. And then he's got the crash guard. So he has custom made the crash guard, and it looks a little big on the bike, but still it looks cool on the bike. And there you go, you can see these he's got these bushes on each of these crash guards. It's independent crash guards which is connected to a main frame here. So he's got a rectangular frame which is connected to the chase, where normally the crash guard is connected, and on top of that he's got these 4 bars which is connected to the main frame. That's pretty good, and I'm sure that it does protect your leg pretty well. So that is the crash guard that he has done. Now to tell you guys, this is custom made by Sumod. He made it himself with his own hands. He's got a small workshop, so I think it's worth appreciation. Now moving forward from the crash guard, he's got a small rack here in front of his handle. It's actually in middle of his handle. Now he claims that this is a lot helpful for him when going on his work sites, so he can put his files and he could put his files, books and his papers inside that. So I'll show you from the bottom there. So you can see that. So it has got quite a decent capacity. He's got his sunglasses inside that. It's got a decent capacity, so this would help him in putting his files. Done much on his seats, so it's the stock seats. And then he's worked on the crash guard. This is the Sari guard. So he's actually altered on his Sari guard. This small extension is what he has worked on. This is the stock Sari guard that comes with the bike, but what is done is actually welded an extra steel. This is steel that is used. So it's not chrome plated, it's basically steel itself, which is a lot stronger. So he's extended it so that this would support the footrest for ladies or anybody else sitting behind his seats. So that is quite useful. And I've always had this doubt that the Sari guard does not actually provide much of a footrest, and that is totally useless when the company provides. But this is what exactly the company should have done, so that it's useful for the person sitting behind, especially for ladies, which they'll be sitting on one side. So that's about the Sari guard. Now moving forward, what we've got here is this is basically an extension that you would have probably seen in Royal Enfield, but This is custom made, it's not any replica of Royal Enfield. This is custom made by Sumodh. So this enables him to keep luggage on top of his rack, so it protects its brake lights, as well as you can put a decent amount of luggage there. Let me show you that from the side. So it is quite extended from the backrest, so there is enough space there in order to keep the luggage. So if you have a smaller bag, and I think Sumodh did have a small bag, probably I'll put the bag and I'll show you how it looks. So which is very good, it looks pretty decent and cool. So from a longer distance, let's see here, you can see that it looks quite different. It's not like the any other bike. So like I said, it's his own design and he liked, because this is only one in this town. Now then, moving forward, then we've got the bottle holder here. So he's got a small bottle holder, and this is like, it's a 1 liter bottle holder. So now this is something, he didn't build this, he actually bought this, but he's connected it to the clamp over here. And then what is done is on a normal Avenger cruise, you have a helmet lock over here on this piece of metal. So brilliantly what is done is he's removed the helmet holder from here, lock from there, and he's connected it back over here just above the rack on the rear end of the bike. So what you can do is you can actually put your helmet over here, and this would give a support to the helmet, so which is pretty a good idea. It's a smart move there. You can see that he's got an extension done from the rear backrest, and then he's put the lock, fixed the lock over there. So if he puts the helmet on that lock, you can have the frame rest on it. Now the other alterations that he has made is he's extended the indicators from its original position, which is over here on this bolt there. Now the reason to do that is because he's trying to occupy some space over here when he fixes the luggage, the panniers, so that you have enough space over there. Plus the bottle is also there, so that could obstruct the bottle. So what he's done is he's actually used a clamp from there, and he's pushed the indicators a little bit forward from its original position. So I hope you can see there. So, and he's got a small reflectors there on that bar. So both the indicators is projected forward. So which even I've thought I needed it on my bike, because when you put your boxes there, you don't have enough space there on the boxes. So this is quite decent. It does not look a big different from its original position, but then you get an extra space over there. So if you look from behind, it looks pretty neat, and you don't really realize if it's pushed forward or if it's sitting on its right position. So I don't see much of a difference. And then he's got a mud flap just below his number plates, which he thinks is useful, so whoever rides behind him does not get obstructed because of the water splashing onto their face. So that's quite nice of him to do that. Now he's done few more alterations on his bike, which the important one is the flap underneath his engine case. You can see that this is what I'm talking about. Now this is a flap which goes under the engine, under the silencer as well, silencer bend. You can see the bend here, this is silencer bend. So this is a flap which goes underneath that. Now this is quite important, it's quite useful also, because the ground clearance of Bajaj Avenger 220 is much lower, so that it tends to hit on humps as well as on stones, which is little higher. As you can see, the ground clearance is less. Now this would actually help in protecting your engine casing as well as your silencer bend in hitting on any humps or any large stones. So that will not damage your engine. So it will only hit on that flap. So if you want, you can replace your flap when it is really damaged. So that is one very useful alteration that he has done. What is done is it's made a frame out of a metal, which is like a bent frame. There you go. This is connected over here, and then the frame goes till here, and on top it's got the same on the other side. So over that he's put a metal plate over here. You can see that. There you can see that it's a metal plate that is connected to this frame. So, and that covers completely the bottom of the bike. So if you can see that, it's completely covered the bottom of the bike. Now there is two advantages in having this flap here. One is that you don't hit on large stones or humps. The second is the front wheel does not splash a lot of water onto your silencer, because he believes that there's a lot of rust that builds up in the silencer. So this would actually eliminate those water splashing onto the silencer, which I can agree to him that, because I've got the same issue on my bike, that the silencer, there's the exhaust that forms a lot of rust there. So this would actually eliminate doing that. And then he's got an extra flap over here just below that protective casing. So this would really eliminate water getting into the silencer or onto the chassis or onto the engine side. So pretty useful, but one thing that I feel it could complicate is while cleaning the bike. So that could complicate it a little bit, so it's a little tricky, but then I think it is worth having something like that. So this is the front view of the bike. Now something that you can see behind the front flap is that you can see two holders there. So it basically looks like a cup holder, but his intention of putting those cup holders is to put any of his smaller objects like his gloves or towel or tissue or something like that. Like the smaller objects, a pen, you can even put a pen on it. So it's quite deep also, and I think even it could also hold a small bottle as well. It looks quite decent, and it's not very visible, so it is not interrupting the look of the bike. So there are two cups on both the sides of the bike. It comes just below the handlebar. You can see that just next to that cone there, and it is not obstructing any of your usage of the bike. So that looks pretty decent. It looks like an extension of the frame which the windshield is connected. So I can't find much of a difference with that or without that, but it's quite useful also. So that's an extra storage there. A small beading that he has bought. It's plated. It's a chrome colored sleeve there. It looks pretty decent. It looks like the company provided sleeves. Now let's do a quick 360 of Sumod's bike there. Now that is the bike on a 360 with all his alterations, and I'm sure that this does look different on the road, and it looks quite bigger than the custom Avenger because of the alteration. It makes the bike look a lot bigger, and like I said, it's different people's different taste and different needs. Like if you look at a Rolls-Royce, you custom make a Rolls-Royce car for their own use and their own interests. So this is probably his interest. I spoke to him about his interest on the bike, and this is what he said. He customized it according to his needs, and this is how his final bike looks. Now it seems that Sumod has got more plans to do extra alteration and do modify on what he has right now. So we'll have a quick word with Sumod, and we'll be doing that quick note with Sumod on the regional language, which I'll do a translation. So look at the translations as well. More there. So we'd like him to talk about the bike, what he thinks about his alterations. So okay, Sumod.
Mobile phone,
Right.
phone കൂടുതൽ
ഒഴിവാക്കുക റേഡിയേഷനും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ. റൈറ്റ് റൈറ്റ്.
പിന്നെ ടവല്, ഗ്ലൗസ്, സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ വെക്കാൻ ഇവിടെ സ്പേസ് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
പിന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ ക്രാഷ് ഗാർഡാണ് ചെയ്തത്. അത്
കാലിന്
സേഫ്റ്റിയാണ്. പിന്നെ ഒരു ഭംഗിയും കൂടി ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചിട്ട് അല്ലേ.
പിന്നെ ഫോഗ് ലാമ്പ്, ഫോണ്, എക്സ്ട്രാ ഫോണൊക്കെ
സ്പേസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഈ ഒരു ഹുക്ക്. അപ്പൊ ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഓൾട്രേഷൻസ് ഉള്ളത് പറഞ്ഞത് ബോട്ടിൽ ഹോൾഡർ കുറച്ചും കൂടി എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്യണം അല്ലേ, ബോട്ടിലൊക്കെ വെക്കാൻ പാകത്തില്. ബോക്സ് ഉണ്ടോ തോന്നുന്നു അല്ലേ, സൈഡ് ബോക്സസ്. ശരി ശരി, റൈറ്റ് റൈറ്റ്. So something that I have already explained in one of my videos, that he'd like to have a extra foot pegs on his center chassis, which I've already done a video, so you guys can take a look at that, what I'm talking about. Chain cover, ശരി, oil, right,
cover ചെയ്തിട്ട് കാരണം അടിഭാഗത്തിന് കൂടുതൽ മണ്ണ് തേക്കുന്ന കാരണം.
കറക്റ്റ്. പിന്നെ അതേപോലെ ചെയിൻ ലൂബ്രിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് വീലിലും ഈ ചേസസിലൊക്കെ ആവണുണ്ടല്ലോ ചെയിൻ ലൂബ്രിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ.
ചെയിൻ എപ്പോഴും ക്ലീൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അത് ഷീറ്റിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു എന്താണ് യു ഷേപ്പിൽ
ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കണം. അപ്പോൾ അതെങ്ങനെ ഫുൾ കവർ ചെയ്യോ? ഫുൾ ചെയിൻ
കവർ ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിലും ഈ അടിഭാഗത്ത് മാത്രമായാലും മതി, കാരണം ചളി തെറിക്കുന്നതാണ്
പ്രശ്നം. ഓക്കെ.
അപ്പോൾ മേലേക്ക് തെറിക്കണത് അത്ര ഓവർ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ചളി കല്ല് പിടിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സൗണ്ട്
വരുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു മേജർ ഓൾട്ടറേഷൻ ആവും അല്ലേ? Okay guys, so that is Sumodh and his bike. So got both the bikes, one is mine as well as the other one is Sumodh's. So both custom made bikes. Most of the alterations are custom made according to my needs as well as on Sumodh's needs. So there you go, that's my bike there. That's Sumodh's.
Broadcast as radio impulses into space. And all messages are being heard on every radio telescope on the entire Earth.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So that is Sumodh's altered Avenger Cruise 220. Now something that I also want to tell you guys is guys, please follow me on Instagram, because that is a lot more easier for me to communicate with you guys for any new updates, because YouTube it has to be a video in order for me to upload. So please follow me on Instagram. The link is on top. You can find the link for Instagram. Also in the descriptions you have the Instagram. And also tell me about setting up a WhatsApp group. If you guys are interested, I can make up a WhatsApp group and I can put all of you guys in that. And also guys, if any of you guys have altered specially modified bikes, do let me know. I'd be interested to do a video on that, and we can arrange the meeting and we can arrange what we can do. We can discuss at that time. So do let me know what you guys think about it, because that will be very helpful for other people to look at it, and we can see what their opinions are. It doesn't necessarily need to be Avenger, because I'd also be interested to take a look at other bikes also, like Royal Enfield or any other bikes. And what I really think is, we should actually conduct a modified bike exhibition like what happens in US. So tell me what you guys think about it. Thank you so much friends, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon with another video.